Hello and welcome, Essex County College family. This is the Virtual Cafe powered by Student Life and Activities. Today's episode number 61 is Women's History Trivia. It is March. It is 2021. We are celebrating Women's History Month, no different than any other year here at Essex County College. We owe a great debt of gratitude and respect to all women here on our wonderful planet Earth. For very long, they were not given rights to many things. Luckily, that's been corrected. And if you don't know about it, we're going to learn about it today. Today's trivia questions were carefully prepared, some of which I do not know the answer to many of them. But the intent is not to give you hard trivia questions, but for us to learn a little bit as well today. We thank you for joining us. So let's get right into the action. So today, folks, we do have some prizes to give away. I want to thank you all for joining us. We want to make sure everybody feels like they got something cool from today's event. That's why everybody that simply answers a question is going to be getting an Essex swag bag mailed to them. Anybody that was here last time can tell you they received it a few days later and it was filled with a lot of awesome stuff that we covered in our last video. There may be some differing items in this month's swag bags. I'm not going to reveal them to you. What I will tell you, though, is that one lucky person is going to be taking home a $25 gift card, a ShopRite gift card, which we know comes in very big handy during this time. So just a reminder, everybody that plays today is going to be taking home an Essex swag bag filled with Essex County College goodies. And one winner, the grand prize winner, who gets the most amount of correct answers, will be taking home the $25 gift card. Our one and only rule of the game, type your answer in the chat. Do not shout it out. The first person to type the correct answer gets the point. Keep in mind, some people may type in correct answers. So just because you've seen someone enter an answer in, still go for it. Still type something in. You never know. It's anybody's game. I will be keeping score manually for everybody that answers. So please remember to try and get your spelling right, because it may come down to who spelled it correctly, even if you put it first. So without any further ado, let's jump right into question number 1. Women's History Trivia. Here we go. At 19 years old, who became the first African-American youth poet laureate in the United States? If you played our last history, this is a little Easter egg. This was the last question from the last trivia we did for Black History Month. At 19 years old, who became the first African-American youth poet laureate in the United States? Let's get your answers in the chat, y'all. All right, in the chat, we have Amanda Gordon and Patricia Frazier. Let's see what the correct answer was. Amanda Gorman. Cadazia, I'm sure that's who you meant. Cadazia.
Oh yeah, that's who I meant.
Okay. All right, we're gonna give the point to her. I'm pretty sure I knew who she was talking about. That's 1 point for Cadazia. All right. Moving on to question number 2. Do not be shy. Just throw your answer in the chat. Women's History Trivia number 2. Which famous women's rights pioneer was the first woman to be depicted on U.S. currency, our money? All right, we got some answers in the chat. We got Susan B. Anthony, Harriet Tubman, Martha Washington. Let's see who was the first woman to have their image depicted on currency. Susan B. Anthony. And the first correct answer for that was Sara. Good job, Sara. All right, here we go. Question number 3. The most important Union spy during the Civil War was a black woman who had escaped from slavery. What's her name? In the chat is a resounding Harriet Tubman from everybody, and that is the correct answer. We got Sara with 2. We got Cadazia with 1. It is still anybody's game. We have plenty more to go. Question number 4. Who is the dancer, singer, actor, fundraiser, author, and poet who read a poem at President Clinton's inauguration in 1993? So Amanda Gorman read a poem in 2021. Who read a poem at President Clinton's inauguration in 1993? All right, in the chat, we have a few Maya Angelou's. Let's see if that's the correct answer. Maya Angelou, correct. Super talented. And let's see who got it first in the chat. It was Sara. All right, Sara with 3. Question number 5. Who helped Black artists and disadvantaged children while winning 13 Grammys and being honored as the First Lady of Song? Everybody in the chat clearly knows their stuff because, yes, the correct answer is Ella Fitzgerald. Cadazia got it in first. Cadazia with 2 points. Sara with 3. If you have some time, I highly suggest checking out some Ella Fitzgerald when you get a chance. I'm hoping that is on streaming services. I am hoping. Okay, next question. In what year did women in the United States win the right to vote? All right, we got in the chat 1919 and 1920. We got a couple 1920s. Let's see who is right. It is 1920. Yes, folks, 1920. The country was founded in 1776. Let that sink in for a minute. How many years did women have to campaign and fight for the right to vote in the United States? Now, we know it happened in 1920, but how many years did women have to campaign and fight and get their voice heard for the right to vote in our country? Okay, the correct answer is 72 years. So they began this journey in 1848, and it took them until 1920 for women to have the right to vote in our country. 72 years, folks. Could you imagine campaigning? Could you imagine fighting for anything for 72 years? What was the first country that granted women the right to vote? What was the first country that granted women the right to vote? It is not the United States. Don't be afraid to guess, folks. The worst thing that can happen to you is that you get a free Essex swag bag mailed to you in the post. In the post. Does anyone call the mail the post? No, it's like a British thing. Everybody in the chat put New Zealand, and that is the correct answer. The point is going to Cadazia. Excellent job. We have Cadazia with 3, Sara with 3, Asma with 1. We still got a whole bunch more to go. Remember to type your answer in the chat. Here is the next question. Which lady rode through the city of Coventry with only her hair covering her to protest the taxes levied by her husband? Which lady, that means that lady will be in the answer, rode through the city of Coventry with only her hair covering her to protest the taxes brought forth by her husband? Everybody in the chat put the same answer. It is the right answer. Lady Godiva. That's right, folks. Lady Godiva rode through the city of Coventry with only her hair covering her because she was not happy about the taxes that her husband was proposing to the land. Which land that is? Oh, Coventry. There we go. I was going to say I forgot. Cadazia came in first. Excellent job again. All right, Lady Godiva. Cadazia is in the lead with 4. We are moving on, folks. Remember, get your fingers on the buzzer. Get your fingers on that Google window, ready to search. Here we go. Which infamous female allegedly killed her father and stepmother in 1892 with an axe? Our Essex students, I believe, have done it again. Everybody in the chat has put Lizzie Borden, and that is the correct answer. It is Lizzie Borden. The point is going to Sara, who served as the final active ruler of the Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt. All right, everybody in the chat is putting Cleopatra. Correct. Sara again, fast fingers. Excellent job. You got to be quick, folks. Here we go. Marie Curie won the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1903. In 1911, She became the first person to win it twice, but for what? Okay, we got some answers in the chat. We got chemistry, we got radioactive, we have physics. Let's see what the correct answer was. Chemistry. So she won a Nobel Prize for physics. Think about how hard that must be. And then again for chemistry, even harder than physics. Unbelievable. Next women's history trivia question is: who was convicted of witchcraft, burned at the stake, posthumously pardoned of all sins in 1456, and then made a saint in 1920? What a ride. In the chat, we have Joan of Arc, we have Hester Prynne, I believe that's what you meant, Susanna Martin, and some more Joan of Arcs. Let us see what the correct answer is. Joan of Arc, yep, convicted of witchcraft, burned alive, and then after she passed away, she was pardoned for all that and then made a saint, Saint Joan of Arc in 1920. What a story.
First there was even a portrait of her doing
that.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Well, then you knew your stuff on this one. All right.
Yep. I did my research.
Sarah got the first correct answer in the chat. We got Sarah in
Thank you, Genesis.
Thank you. All right, y'all. Remember, good luck. We still have some more questions to go. Our next question is: with over 68.5 million albums sold, who is the most successful female solo artist in the United States? All right, we got some good guesses in the chat so far. We got Beyonce, we got Madonna, we got Barbara Streisand. This is the one you want to throw a guess in if you haven't stepped onto the plate yet, because it could be anybody. Taylor Swift, Lizzo. Cadazia says Mariah Carey. Anybody else have any guesses? All right, let's see who was right. It is Mariah Carey. Yep, she's also the first female to ever hold the number 1 and number 2 spot on the Billboard Top 100. So that's a feat in itself, to have the number 1 and number 2 best song at any given moment in the country. It's crazy. So Mariah Carey, awesome job. Like she needs me to tell her. Who was the first lady to have developed her own political and media identity? Who was the first lady to have developed her own political and media identity? All right, our folks in the chat have put Michelle Obama. Let's see if that was correct. No, it was Eleanor Roosevelt way back. Genesis, you came in right after the buzzer. I'm going to give you the point anyway. Genesis on the board, 1 point. Fantastic. What journalist traveled around the world in 72 days in 1890? We have some guesses in the chat. We have Nellie Bly. We have Elizabeth Jane Cochran. Let's see which one was correct. It is Nellie Bly. Yep. First journalist around this great big world in 72 days. That was a long time ago. We got Cadazia with 6, Sara with 6, Asma with 2, and Genesis with 1. We are moving on. Our next question is: who was the Shoshone Indian woman who served as guide and interpreter on the Lewis and Clark expedition? Everybody in the chat put the same answer. It is Sacagawea. And the first person to pop in, I appreciate the very quick. Everybody spelled it wrong, but you spelled it wrong just like everybody else did very quickly. Cadazia, thank you for doing that quickly. You did beat everybody else out, so Cadazia is going to get the point on that. Sacagawea, the first Shoshone Indian woman who served as a guide and interpreter on the Lewis and Clark expedition. Fantastic job, everybody. All right, we're moving on to our next question. Here it is. When did officials of Little League Baseball announce that they would defer to the changing social climate and let girls play on their teams? Cadazia put 2003. I hope it's not 2003. That's like too close to now. That would be a really big disappointment. Some folks put 1974, 1964, 1972, 1973, 1976, 1994, 2003. Let's see who's going to be right on this one. It is 1974. And the first correct 1974 is the other Sara, Sara D. Sara D, excellent job. You are on the board. What was the first state to allow women to vote? What was the first state in our country, the United States, to allow women to vote? We have some answers in the chat. Some folks put Wyoming. Some put New Jersey. It is Wyoming. It's not a surprise. I don't know anything about Wyoming. I was going to say that's surprising. I don't know anything about Wyoming, so it's just surprising to me. Okay. First person to get it right in the chat was Genesis. All right, Genesis. Genesis on with 2. Asma with 2. Sara D with 1. Sara O with 5. And Cadazia in the lead with 7. Let's see what happens. Women's history trivia. Next question. Lizzie McGee was the inventor of the original Monopoly game. What was it called? I believe this is the last question. Lizzie McGee was the inventor of the original Monopoly game. What was it called? Everybody in the chat put the Landlord's Game. So was Monopoly originally called the Landlord's Game? Let's see. Yes, the Landlord's Game. Good thing they changed the name of it. That's a lame name. All right. Let's see. We got it first in the chat. Genesis again. Genesis, you did come late because you do know your stuff. All right. We do not have a tiebreaker. When we do have a tiebreaker, we randomly will go to Dean Slade or Dr. Graham and catch them off guard and ask them for a question. We didn't have a tiebreaker, so you're off the hook today. But we do have a winner. It is Cadazia with 7 points. We had Sara O with 6. We had Genesis with 3, Asma with 2, and Sara D with 1. You all played fantastic. Again, it's just a matter of speed and getting in there quickly. Everybody's taking home an Essex swag bag today. And Cadazia will be taking home in her swag bag the $25 ShopRite gift card. If everybody, you could turn your camera on or your audio on, whatever you want to do. Let's just give her a round of applause for having the fast fingers and winning women's history trivia. Fantastic job, Cadazia.
Yeah, good job. Thank you.
So we hope that you and your families are doing well during this time. We urge you to stay warm again because we have some cold weather hitting us, even though we had a little taste of spring for a few days. And we hope that you are staying safe as always. Please take care of yourselves and your family. Hope you do well on your finals, and we wish you the best of luck for the rest of the spring semester. Hopefully we will see you here next week on the Virtual Cafe to meet with our Bio and Pre-Med Club. Otherwise, please have a wonderful day, and we will catch you next time. Take care.